He goes on trial. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need a top investigator. Think you can work with the guy?
John Russell is the best, and Cassie needs the best. All right, I'll call him right away.
Your secretary's away from your desk. I hope you have a few minutes for me.
Well, frankly, we're busy. Some ruthless prosecutor seems determined to railroad my daughter.
Herb, cool it.
Oh, I'm not that ruthless. I came here to make a deal with you if you're interested.
Exactly are you offering, Miss Sanders?
If Cassie pleads guilty, the state will reduce the charges to involuntary manslaughter. And with good behavior, she could be out in 5 years.
Is that all?
Herb, you do understand, Miss Sanders, that it would take time for us to consider.
No, there's nothing to consider, Pete. In fact, I think I can tell Miss Sanders quietly and confidently it'll be a cold day in hell before we agree to such terms.
Herb.
No. My daughter is going to plead innocent, and we're going to prove her innocent in a court of law. Do I make myself clear?
Herb, listen, I think you really should take a little time so we can really go over all of the possibilities.
Including the possibility... No, make that the probability that your client has no chance of being acquitted.
Cassie's not just another client, Judith. She's my daughter.
Herb.
No. I've been tiptoeing around as pretending it was just another case. Well, it isn't. My daughter's life is at stake.
All the more reason to do the sensible thing, don't you think?
Oh, it's sensible to accept your offer and tacitly admit that my daughter is guilty. I've got news for you, Judith. You thought you were out for an easy victory here? Your first time out as special prosecutor? Guess again.
Mr. O'Neill, I'm so sorry your compatriot's taking such a hard line. I guess I'll have to do the same. All the evidence points to premeditated murder, which demands a murder one indictment and conviction.
You'll never prove it.
Oh, but I will. And when I do, I hope you'll remember that I gave you every chance to save your daughter from life imprisonment. See you in court, gentlemen.
You've been crying. Are those tears of guilt? Because you falsely accused my daughter of murdering Mitch Laurence when you know she didn't do it?
No, that's not it. I was sitting here...
Allison, please. You've got to tell the authorities the truth. Otherwise, my daughter's going to go to jail for a crime that she didn't commit.
Miss Callison, that you were taking the antidote to the drug.
I was. Maybe not enough, though.
So,
maybe he was giving me more.
So you contend that you did not willingly leave the Waterside Inn for another hotel?
I absolutely had no control over what I was doing. Adrian, this huge guy, and in the state that I was in, they could have forced me to go anywhere.
Just try to get away.
I did put up a fight, but it was no use. And that's when Mitch came, and they held me down, and they injected me with that hypodermic needle.
Yeah, and now you're saying there was another drug.
Yeah, a much more powerful one. But I don't remember what it was. It's very foggy. It was like I was in some kind of a dream.
You know, Miss Callison, no evidence of any drugs whatsoever was found by the police either at the Waterside or on Mitch Lawrence's body, yet you're asking the court to believe the man was a walking pharmacy.
Sit
down, Miss Callison. Sit down. Now, what happened to you after he gave you an injection of the drug?
Well, we went to the bank, and that's where he pretended to be my personal security guard.
Was he armed?
I don't remember.
Now, according to the bank official, Mr. Lockwood, you didn't try to alert him in any way that you were being forced into transferring your trust fund to Switzerland or into taking $100,000 out in cash.
I told you I was under his influence and the influence of the drugs. I had no free will.
Did you see anyone in the bank at all that you recognized?
I vaguely remember running into Delilah Buchanan, but I don't know what we talked about.
But you do remember making the transaction?
Yes. Vaguely, I do. I was still very foggy, and I remember that a short time after that, we went back to the Waterside Inn, and that's when I began to wonder what I was doing there and when I would be able to leave.
What stopped you?
Well, that's when he gave me some more iced tea, and he promised that we would go away to Europe together during the rally, and, I remember that I agreed with him. I mean, he made me believe that I wanted to do that.
All right, at what point you put on the teddy?
I'm not sure.
Why did you put it on?
Because he told me to.
And whatever Mitch wanted, he got.
It's because of the drugs. How many times do I have to explain to you, Dad? It's because of the drugs.
Alleged drugs.
Daddy, you know
Cassie, now I told you at the outset we were questioning you as Judith Sanders might. I am not your father, and Pete is not a friend, all right?
I am not lying to you. Mitch is the one
Honey.
that's been accused of a liar. Why would I lie?
Honey, I want you to listen to me
I'm
now.
not a liar.
Wait a minute, Cassie. That's not true. You lied to Brad Vernon, you lied to your father, you lied to your mother, you lied to everyone when you went to the Waterside Inn to become a disciple.
That was different.
Either you are a truthful person or you are a liar. Now, it seems to me you lie very easily to get what you want. Why wouldn't you lie after you killed a man?
I didn't kill him. I don't think I did. I hit him once and then he knocked me out.
And then you recovered, you hit him again, and you killed him!
No, I didn't. I don't remember what I did. I just don't remember anymore.
Mrs. Lord, I was crying because Mitch is dead, and I miss him. It has absolutely nothing to do with accusing your daughter.
I was hoping that we could have a civil conversation.
In fact, I came here to thank you for saving my daughter's life when
The fanatics here wanted to burn her at the stake for being a witch.
Well, I know all of Mitch's tricks. I know how he fooled people. But all he really wanted to do was help the needy. And now he's gone. And now it is his disciples that are needy. They are lost without him, adrift. They're very angry. It's an awful thing to see.
Mitch Laurence never entered anybody's life and left it better.
You didn't know him like I did. He wanted desperately to change the world.
Yes? And how has it all ended up?
Your daughter is the one who changed everything, Mrs. Lord. She set her sights on Mitch, and she was obviously willing to do anything to get him. She finally lured him with promises of her trust fund.
Oh, then you do know that he was after that.
I know she promised it to him. But she, of course, said she was going to give it to the mission when all along she just wanted Mitch. Now, he was weak. There was no doubt about that. There was greed in his soul.
And so he drugged her in order to force her to give him access to her trust fund.
Exactly the opposite, Mrs. Lord. Cassie wanted Mitch, but she didn't want the mission. And she didn't want all of us that went along with the mission. But Mitch loved me. And when he made that clear to her, she couldn't handle it. And she killed him.
I know that isn't true, Allison.
I'm afraid it is.
I know it isn't true because I murdered Mitch Laurence.
Yes.
I took the candlestick and I bashed him in the head with it because I saw him leaning over my daughter's unconscious body, about to rape her. Now, unless you get over your slavish devotion to your dead leader, my daughter is going to be thrown in jail for a crime she did not commit.